Hillary Clinton is no dummy. Let's get that right out in the open. So she really has no excuse for deleting all those emails on her private home server after the State Department asked for them to be made public. And while Mrs. Clinton is likely an electronic neophyte on matters such as these, don't you also think someone would have warned her about private home servers being hacked by people like kids on too much Red Bull or red Chinese agents assigned to bring down those electronic doors and steal American secrets? Well, the FBI is now banging on her door for answers. The potential for a legal noose getting just a little bit tighter. Fodder and more for the political animal. She is columnist for the New York Post, author of Got Religion, Naomi Shaefer Riley. He is the veteran West Coast radio talker and Newsmax contributor, Larry Elder. I thank you both for joining us. Let's get right to Hillary Clinton. I'll tell you what, Naomi, I'm going to begin with you on this one. The FBI is saying, wait a minute, they're not targeting Mrs. Clinton on this, but you've got to look at all this. It is just another brick in the wall, if you will, that shows that she made a mistake and she could have just exposed untold amount of secrets to those seeking to find a way inside the American government.
Yeah, I really don't know how the voter can trust Hillary Clinton after this. I mean, you remember those commercials with the phone call at 3 a.m. I mean, this is not the person that you want answering that phone, because you just get the sense that, as with so much with the Clintons, it's all about, the rules being different for them. And there is a reason that we have these security measures in place. I mean, there's a reason that ordinary people keep, secure servers, let alone being the Secretary of State and not being able to, to manage this stuff and not being able to come clean about it. It's very worrisome.
Larry, does it not boggle the mind that when you look at everything that's happening here, and then you look at the FBI getting involved here, and again, no one's been found guilty of anything, but that at this point, with everything that continues to pile up, anybody would be able to say, yes, I'll vote for Hillary Clinton because I trust her to be the president and to have the finger on that nuclear button at one time. It doesn't make any sense after this.
It doesn't make any sense to me either. Tom Brady actually got into more hot water for destroying his cell phone than so far Hillary has for destroying these emails and wiping her server clean.
Well, but you do have to point out, too, though, Larry, he did win more Super Bowls than Mrs. Clinton, just in case.
Oh, that's true. He does have a mean spiral. But I'm surprised the FBI is taking this long to investigate what happened to her server and whether or not the server was hacked. I'm wondering what took so long.
Well, I don't know if it's going to take any longer for anybody else to think about that, oh, maybe what we're saying here is right. Maybe there is a question mark here. But you do have to think that if indeed they find something here, Larry, then this has got to be the last straw. If they find anything here that she kept that could have compromised national security at her home, that has got to be the end.
And I know it's easy to say things like this, but imagine if this were George W. Bush or, God forbid, Dick Cheney, who had a private server at his home, wiped email clean, deleted email that the FBI or the authorities wanted. What would people be saying? They'd be marching on Washington. Hillary has gotten a major pass on this, and I just saw a recent poll that showed Bernie Sanders is about even with her, largely because of concerns about Hillary's character.
All right, let's go ahead and switch gears here, if you will. Naomi, I'm going to get to you on this one. Jeb Bush vowing to cut off federal funding for Planned Parenthood if he's elected to the White House. The Democrats, including Hillary Clinton, are just hammering away at what he said. But Jeb immediately backtracked on this, said he misspoke. Here's exactly what he said.
You could take dollar for dollar, although I'm not sure we need $500 million for women's health issues. But if you took dollar for dollar, there are many extraordinarily fine organizations, community health organizations that exist, federally sponsored community health organizations to provide quality care for women on a wide variety of health issues.
Naomi, let's be fair. Even if he walks us back, which he did, how much damage could this do in the long run? Because you still have an American electorate who now is looking at a guy who's second in the polls, and they're wondering, well, gee, can't you get this right the first time, and why did you have to walk it back? Do you think it's dangerous?
Well, sure. I mean, and obviously, this combined with his Iraq comments make you worried about, his ability to sort of say the right thing the first time. But on the other hand, I think this is sort of, a rhetorical trap that liberals have kind of set here with the issue of what women's health is. I mean, that really has come to mean a whole group of things. Mostly, it's code for abortion, birth control, and a couple of other things. And so, there is no reason why we should be talking separately about women's health as opposed to men's health and children's health. I mean, it's basically, we're concerned about healthcare in this country. But if you say, you're walking back, funding for women's health, then suddenly, you're a sexist. But everybody knows women's health does not just mean mammograms. Everybody knows what women's health means. So I think he just sort of fell into this trap, and it's unfortunate. He probably should have been a little bit more careful, though.
24/7 cycler may disappear in no time. 60 seconds to you, Larry. Next up, Democratic strategists say Joe Biden is late to the party for 2016. Do you think he is indeed coming in too late?
I don't think he's coming in too late. There hasn't been a Democratic debate yet. There certainly has not been any kind of primary. And one more time, as I mentioned earlier, Bernie Sanders has exposed Hillary's vulnerability. And I believe that Biden is watching all of this and talking to the donors. And I believe he's going to get in. And I don't think it's too late at all. No.
All right. 15 seconds to you then, Larry. What do you expect? What's your hope for the debate on Thursday night?
Trump is going to show up. He's going to be rational. That's all he has to be, is rational, and he won't be fired.
You're sure that Donald Trump, though, can be rational? Because Donald Trump likes to get in people's faces, and it works.
He'll be asked about immigration. He'll give some responses that'll be a little more fleshed out than before. He'll look rational. That's all he's got to do.
That's all he's got to do. Naomi, 20 seconds to you. What are you looking for Thursday night?
I am looking forward to hearing Chris Christie take on Donald Trump and shut him down once and for all.
Ooh,
Won't happen. I hadn't
even
thought
about it. I'm glad Chris Christie made it into this debate.
Naomi, I got to give you credit, because if you just want to put two people in the room and let them go at it, it would be Trump and Christie, the Northeastern guys going, that would be a show. Larry Elder, Naomi Shaefer Riley, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again real soon. All right, coming up next, let's talk about all that money people are saving on Obamacare, right? That could be the first 5-second conversation on this show. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hard Line, continues.